And just like that, we are back. Welcome to the show. I'm Yanni Rude.
And I'm just Terrell. You ever been out somewhere and overheard two people having crazy conversations?
Yeah, well, we are those people. And we've been having these conversations since college.
Yep, it's the Regular Guys Random Thoughts podcast, Married at First Sight, season 15, episode 17, Decision Day.
D-Day.
Be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and definitely leave a review.
You know, this episode really played with our emotions. Not because of what the couple said in their decisions, but just the fact that the first hour went by so fast and they got through so many of the couples who were like, well, what the hell else is there for the rest of the hour? So let's see if we can get through these just as fast. Stasia's freaky ass and Nasty Nate. First up the bat, and if you listen to what Dr. Pepper said when her and Pastor Troy, as you like to call him, were sitting down first, she said, you know, Nate was very receptive from the beginning to everything that Stacia asked. And she's right. She was absolutely right. Nate was really open to that. But at the same time, Stacia was also right in some of the things that she was a little concerned about leading into Decision Day, right?
Yes, she was. I didn't know what to expect from those two. Mm-hmm. And then when they sat down and Stacia shows up and she's like, well, I have a list. Like the look on Nate's face. Nate's eyes was like,
Executive Stasia's here. Shit. She's here again.
I'd like to thank the board for coming to this meeting today. Stacia, let's go ahead and get started. Let me pass out the agenda.
Let's go over the minutes from the last meeting.
Nate, can you get us all some coffee and bagels outside, please? Thank you. She looked all about business. And when she's going through her list, again, when I hear someone say mommy issues, it's negative. It's just really negative and kind of condescending and sarcastic. And so I was like, oh, I think she's going to say no. But then Nate comes back and it's like, hey, she has some issues too. Yeah, that she needs to address. And look, she gave him that little side eye.
He finally admitted that he felt insecure around her, which was good. We kind of knew that. You and I have been saying that all season long, right? Yeah. Some people thought we were wrong for saying it, but he finally admitted it. And Pastor Cal was right, though. He said, you know, the things that they were having problems with in their marriage, which is communication, that's in every marriage. It's in every relationship. Communication becomes a problem at some point. And especially when you're new to it, that you're happy first, but what happens? Because 6 weeks they were good. The last week and a half they weren't because some of that communication issue was there, right?
It was, but here's where I struggle with Nate, because it's great that he admitted that he had felt insecure, right? But a lot of relationships where the woman is the breadwinner or the higher earner, a lot of men struggle with that, and I think Nate in most of his relationships he's been the boss, kind of. He's been that person. Now you're with somebody who doesn't need you, and all your hustling is not going to do anything to put a real dent in the stuff that she's dealing with from an expense standpoint. And so this maybe answers why he kept talking about, well, if this doesn't work out, I'm homeless. You know, that type of weak ass shit. But I still look at Nate as weak. I'm just like, I don't think you are strong enough to stick. Because now you got to be real. You can't just say, hey, I'm a day trader and do all these things or say these things that sound cool. You actually got to produce.
So interesting, because I want to make sure no one gets this wrong in the way you said it, in calling him weak. There's a reason for that, because you've dated somebody who's made more money than you. I've dated somebody who's made more money than me. And at no point did you, and we haven't had this conversation, but I know you well enough to know you didn't feel insecure in that relationship in any way, because just because you make more doesn't make you more important in this relationship. Just like if you're in a relationship with somebody who makes less than you, you don't look down on them in that way. And you're right. Nate comes off as weak because he tried to manipulate the situation and play with her feelings. And, oh, well, your currency is love. I'm going to hold that shit back so I have some power.
Right.
That's weak as hell.
Yeah. That is bravo. I just got to applaud for you.
Keep going.
Bravo.
Keep going.
That was good. No, that's 100% good, but that's
more.
No, that's all you're gonna get. That's all you're gonna get. My hands are tired. It's been a long day.
Hey, what you been doing?
Work it.
That is not what some people expected you to say.
That's why I still got the button down. I've been working. But I agree with you. I think you're 100% right that since Nate doesn't have the financial power, this is how he chose to hold the power. He held the love power. Mm-hmm. And held back something that she wanted and would try to dangle that and throw that in her face. But I wasn't surprised when Nate said yes, because the note I made is, of course, because that house is dope. He doesn't want to miss out on that.
I will say, though, when he said yes, here's the thing I liked about what he said, though. Because he said, and I made a good note of this, he said he considered the last week and a half something that made their relationship real compared to that dreamlike state that they were in for the first 6 weeks. I get it, because we talked about Justin and Alexis from the very beginning when they were everything's so perfect the first week. And we're like, that shit ain't gonna last. And Nate and Stacia were that way for a long time. And then they had this, which almost stopped them. But when he said yes, I know you noticed Executive Stacia was still present because she is cold. That girl is cold. She had absolutely no expression. We've watched this, me for more episodes than you. More seasons than you, but you've seen it. Usually there's a reaction to when the person says yes. They try to hold a smile, but they can't help it. Yeah. Stacia was stone-faced.
But that's producers, I think, because if someone tells you, let's say if he would have said no, and then she would have been like, huh? Expressions or whatever. Mm-hmm. I think that's all producers to make it sell for this. This is why I hate this show. I told you I hate. I texted you tonight. And I'm like, show's stupid. All these damn yeses is bullshit. But I think that she's doing that because the producer told her to do. Now I really thought Stacia was gonna say no. So when she said yes, I was like, what? I was kind of surprised.
It's like Pastor Cal said, that was a long yes. And which Nate said, that's what she said. Yeah.
but at least we didn't get those Stacia crocodile tears with the red eyes. We didn't get that. Because that's what I was thinking. It was going to be a whole bunch of like big ass red eye crying. I'm like, stop. This is why Nate is... No, I'm just joking.
This is why Nate says no. He's like, I'd like to change my answer.
Why? This. Pastor Troy, look at this.
Yeah, as we move on to Alexis and no Thrustin, Justin. When Alexis first showed up on the screen, the first thing I was like, damn, she got a whole new face. That's a lot of makeup. And I get it. Got to get ready for everything, but that was a lot of makeup. That looked like a whole different person.
You got to get over this whole makeup thing. I don't understand why that's like a big... I'm with you. Natural beauty is great. Makeup is made to enhance. When I see a lot of makeup, it makes me wonder what's underneath. I totally get what you're talking about. Okay. Just got to let that stuff go. It's TV. No. They're going to put a lot of makeup on these people anyway. Even the people in like those weird Paradise, Stranded in the Jungle, whatever that show is, they got a little makeup on. Yeah, Survivor. They got a little makeup on. So
every woman on reality TV wakes up with lipstick.
That's a requirement for your video that you submit. Yep. Show us what you look like when you wake up in the morning.
Hey, well, when she stepped out the truck to get there for decision day, she stepped out looking like a chocolate M&M. Loved her outfit, and apparently so did Pastor Cal, because he hit her when she showed up.
Look at that thickness walking over here.
Hey, boy,
about to take me to church. Feed me till I want no more. Feed me till I...
Oh my God. Yo, when they sat down and started talking though, Alexis kind of let it be known that she had to decide what I've always said was the real question people have to think about when they're thinking about marrying somebody. Can I deal with this thing that I don't like for the rest of my life? I was surprised that she actually tried to.
Well, let's go back to the beginning part when they asked about consummating the marriage. And Alexis still had to say, we got some work to do in that department. I'm like, woman, why do you keep talking about him that way? And so I was just so annoyed. And so I'm sitting there like, okay, Justin, even if you were on the fence, that should have been your reason to say, you know what? Let me call Maya real quick. Maya, you come on home, boo.
And
you get your side of the bed back.
Here's the crazy thing about it. That wasn't the first time she gave shade when they sat down. But to the point, though, but before I even get to the first time they gave shade, Dr. Pepper was acting like Alexis wasn't talking about sex. Like she just tried to move it on. Oh, what are we talking about? What's the problem in the relationship? We all knew what she was talking about.
Exactly.
She's constantly trying to embarrass this man. And she did it in the very beginning when he's like, about listening. She goes, oh, you listen. You go, I listen all the time. Unfortunately. I was like, yo, she came in and she was jabbing him in the side with that knife. Not even taking shots, just jabbing him in the side with a knife.
Yeah. I mean, I'm so surprised that Justin said yes, because I can only take someone talking about me publicly for so long before I'm out. Before I'm done with it. If we're going to be married, and I get it, you're on a reality show. You can say, hey, you can talk about my cooking. You could say that I leave the toilet seat up or whatever. But don't get on TV and talk about my sex skills or lack thereof on TV. And I wouldn't do the same to you, because you're exposing so much of yourself anyway on reality TV. Leave something separate. But she has just constantly, from the time she found out he was celibate to the time that they finally hooked up and it wasn't any good, and then he wasn't dominant enough, and then now he finally tries to initiate, and she makes him feel bad again that we got some work to do. Done.
Well, she was making sure. I want to get my point across. I want everybody to know. And if I say it enough times, they won't be able to cut it all out. So that's what she did. She constantly said it, so they had to put it in. And first thing I thought when she said yes was, all right, she's saying yes until the reunion. And I figured that by next week, they wouldn't be together.
It's funny. I made the same note. I was like, Alexis said yes, question mark, question mark, question mark. I said, they will be divorced by the reunion. Literally,
we knew that.
We
all knew that. People on Twitter were saying the same thing. They were like, yeah, okay, right. Like she said, like my question on Twitter really was, all right, how much are those bonus checks for the yeses? Because it has to be. Because as we get to the next couple, Looney, Lindy, and Moody, Miguel, and I know Patricia last week said that it's disrespectful to call Lindy Looney, but I actually think it's pretty accurate. I mean, the way she's been acting has been pretty loony. I mean, if you're out there telling people that you cut up and they like, no, don't do that, and you keep acting like that, and you say, well, this is not even the worst. This is just not even half of what I can do.
I'm going to call her Lindy because I don't want to call some woman crazy that I only know a small segment of her life.
Oh, boy. Here you TV. Go pandering. Pandering.
Her name is Lindy. Does she have some issues? We would all agree yes. But I can't say she's Looney. But hey, did you see that prom dress? Is that what she's been waiting for all her life? To wear that prom dress, right?
Miguel said she looks like a princess. I mean, you know what? I will say this. The way they shot it, her walking down the hallway, her approaching the decision day area, they put it in slow motion, gave her that flow. It looked good. She looked good. I give her that. She looked good. Still loony, but she looked good.
Yes. I loved when she was talking and she kind of looked at Miguel. Miguel's like, express yourself. I just laughed. I was just like, Go ahead.
You know why though? Because Miguel, and I feel Miguel, because I also don't understand people who say, well, that is part of me, and am I supposed to just change who I am? Which is what Lindy's been trying to say this entire time, and it's like, yes, you are. It's called growing up. You know, especially if the way you are is acting like a 2-3-year-old throwing a tantrum. Grow up. That's why I still leave Looney Lindy, because you're too goddamn old to still be acting like this.
She's all in her feels. But here's what's funny. I made the note, if Lindy still says yes, I'm done.
Why?
I said, if Lindy still says yes, I'm done. Listen to all the things that she was complaining about that Miguel does. And then when she did say yes, I was like, ugh, drama wants drama. Shocker.
No. She needs insurance.
She needs coverage. I got a few more appointments left between now and the reunion, so we're going to make this work a little bit longer.
Exactly. I was hoping that he would say no, but he didn't. He said yes, and I was like, okay, well, you know what? All right, the bonus check's kicking in again. I get it. But, to our point, though, we said that they would probably say yes. They shouldn't, but they probably would say yes.
We did say that. Mm-hmm. I don't think Miguel should, but maybe, again, the producers show us what they want us to see. Maybe there's a lot of other things. They had that blow up over the prom night or the getaway weekend, but maybe there were so many other good things that it was just more for TV. But I was surprised that Miguel said yes to.
I'll say this. It's not just on her, right? And I know I give her a hard time because I really despise that type of behavior, especially when you know better. And she knows better. That's the part that irks me. And that's why I give her that title that we inherited, Looney Lindy, because you know better. You just choose to keep doing that, right? But here's why I think that they shouldn't have said yes, and why they won't make it in the long run. Because the things that she does that irks him to the core. It gets under his skin to the point that, like, when he's talking, she just looks away and she gets distracted. Those are things. You hear me talk about it all the time.
Exactly what I was thinking of. I'm like, okay, you're about to bring up somebody chewing their mouth over it again. Jesus, let it go.
You know, because it's those little things those are the straws that break camels' backs.
When anybody does it, because next time I see you, I'm going to purposely, like a cow, just...
Make sure you're sitting far away. And we got some people in between us, so I can't throw anything at you.
But I get you. I mean, I think the things, and again, maybe like we talked about last week, though that might annoy you, maybe that all the other things about her are good, that he's able to overlook that. Where we've already heard you say, no matter how long you've been in love with somebody, it could be 20 years from now. She starts chewing with her mouth open, you out.
Deuces.
She get old, she get dentures, has to take her dentures out, and she has to like gum down some pork chops and whatever, and her mouth is open. You like, it's been a great 30 years, but this, I can't.
Look, I've got an amazing Bravo blender. It's a juicer.
What's for dinner tonight? Ribeye smoothies. He is sprinkling some steak seasoning into the blender. Oh, you're going to love it.
Throw some A1 in there.
You want steak sauce? How you like yours? Medium? Medium rare? Bzzz.
Oh, Jesus. It's not going to like any of those jokes. All right.
No,
let's move on to Krysten and Son-Of-A-Mitch. First thing I thought when they sat down, right?
Besides her swallowing a bug?
Well, that was the first thing I thought. Like, did her swallowing that bug turn Mitch on or off? Because it was natural, but then she also killed a natural thing. So, did she upset the ecosystem by swallowing that bug?
I think that's what it was. She disturbed the ecosystem. You don't know who that bug, who their family is. They could have little bug kids. Now you met somebody, parentless. You're really hurting the environment by eating that bug.
That one bug is going to cause 2 days of thunderstorms.
I'm surprised. I won't be surprised if Peter reaches out to Married at First Sight of, can we talk about episode 17 in Decision Day? We have some issues with eating a bug live, and a live bug live on TV.
And you didn't even censor it.
Yeah. Didn't even give the bug a credit. When the credits rolled, it wasn't like, shout out to that fly that got in Krysten's mouth. Sorry
Unfortunately,
about it.
One bug was harmed in the making of this episode.
In loving memory of bzzz.
Who do we, Buzz Lightyear?
Yeah, Buzz. That's what they're going to call him.
I will say this, though. Everything, and they dragged them out so much, you almost kind of realize what they were going to do. And I did notice people on Twitter were like, hey, I hope they go to Krysten first so she can say no. Well, no, they went to Mitch first. Mitch said no. What were your thoughts when he said no?
I was quite surprised because I wasn't expecting that. And even though Mitch is a Mitch, right? I respect what he said because he's like, you deserve somebody who's all in. Yeah, like he would totally be open to saying, hey, we've had this experiment 8 weeks on camera. I would love to see what it's like to be with you without the cameras, because I could totally understand that. Yeah. If you think about how the show's done, I can understand that. I can't say I'm with you forever, because here's the reality, though. And this is where Mitch is a little bit of a dick about it. The reality is all the people that said yes are still going to try. And if it doesn't work out, they're going to get divorced. They just didn't embarrass the person on TV. Right. Mitch was just like, no. And as we'll see later, he's totally done. But I was just surprised. I thought Mitch was going to be in, to be honest.
I really wasn't surprised. I was, and even so, when Krysten said no as well, and she's like, I choose me as well, because they didn't show any real reaction from her when he said no. And I think, you know what, theirs went in such a way, like Pastor Cal's like, well, why are you guys holding hands so tightly, right? And even when they walk off, they're hugging each other and doing all this, and it's like, first thing I thought was, all right, so he's gonna get him a little bit more before the show's over, before he's got to check out of the apartment hotel. So he gonna get some tonight because he's gonna be like, let's get it. And
for old time's sake.
But the fact, and you heard what she said there. If this is where I worried about it for her, because he made it clear, you deserve somebody better. She goes, well, and the minute I heard that, I went, oh boy, Krysten hasn't learned her lesson yet. So them walking off, holding hands still, that was all her, not him. Really, right?
Yes, because the note that I made that I'm glad Krysten chose herself, but I do think that if Mitch would have said yes, she would have said yes. I do believe that. And if he were to call her tomorrow and be like, hey, just rewatched all the episodes. Wow, I was an ass. But the more I think about it, I really love you and I miss you and be with you. She would get with him in a heartbeat.
And we saw this in after the decision when they all met up. And we'll get to Alexis and Justin in a few. But while we're here with Krysten and Mitch, let's just stay here, right? Because when they're sitting down and she's talking about the door is ajar. And somebody said it's cracked. And she said, no, I didn't say crack. It's ajar. And I'm like, you do know what ajar means, right? It doesn't mean a jar. It means the goddamn door's open.
What were those? What are those music battles that they have? What are those music battles?
Which ones?
Like the ones recently where you had, any of the artists, older artists. They battle other folks, but they're all singing their old stuff. Versus. Versus. I felt this was a versus between Silk Sonic and Teddy Pendergrass. Krysten is Silk Sonic wanting to leave the door open. Teddy Pendergrass is like, close the door.
Yo, I was like, are you kidding me? Like, now, I will say this. A lot of people gave Alexis hell on Twitter for asking the question, right? When she said to Mitch, is this what it is? If it's open, would you be open to going back with her? They said she's always starting shit and not dealing with hers. And I'm like, no. What she did was say to Krysten, hey, I don't think you're paying attention to what he said. So let me ask him, since you won't ask him, hey, what if is there a chance that this is what it is? And then he gave his answer.
She did what I call a sister solid. Sister solid where she's looking at Krysten. That's her way of saying, bitch, did you not hear him?
And I feel Mitch's frustration because everybody gave him hell. And that's why you see him rolling his eyes and all that shit. Because he's like, yo, why is it? It's not my fault. I said what I said. I said it on decision day. I said it here again. Why are you mad at me if she can't hear it? I never said the door's ajar. Exactly. I never said it was cracked. I never said that it was even unlocked. I locked and deadbolted that mother, and she's the one talking about leaving it ajar.
Remember
put the alarm on.
Remember I'm gonna get you, sucker, where the dude gets out the car but doesn't close the door of the way, and the car says, the door is ajar. The door is ajar. Close the goddamn door. That was Mitch.
Yes.
I love how Mitch was like, Mitch is gangster. He's like, I said what I said. Yes. None of that came from my end. I didn't say any of those things.
But I feel him because he said, like, the way he let her down on decision day was so kind and calm. He did it nicely.
Yeah.
And even didn't go like, well, let go my goddamn hand. I said no already.
So look at here.
He's still being cordial and all this other stuff. I will say though, once she finally got the message, because the fact that Krysten sits there and goes, well, the door is completely closed now. I'm like, it was closed. He told you that on decision day. What are you talking about? Were you not paying attention? Were you not at the same decision day that we saw?
No, Krysten was delusional. It's like she's in the Matrix. There is no spoon. Like, she's not seeing what's right in front of her face. So I'm glad that's over for them. They were able to move on. Now, kudos to Kristen's like, hey, I'm going camping. Can you watch Luna?
Oh, yeah. She's like, can I reach out to you? Well, it's funny you should say that because I'm going to go camping. So, yeah, my phone's going to be off, but I need you to watch the dog.
Yeah.
And then his dumb ass, well, do you want, Krysten and Mitch's first apartment cups? No, throw that shit out.
Yeah. Yeah.
She was fine. She was finally done. I'm glad she's finally done. But you know what? She's not. Because Mitch is going to get that itch and he's going to dial up them digits.
No, I don't believe
when he goes to pick when he goes to pick up Luna or when he goes to drop off, he gonna drop off a couple other kids too.
Yeah. Did you miss Mitch? What about little Mitch? Did you miss little Mitch? You want to give him a kiss and a hug too? Hey.
And she'll do it.
Yeah. Well, I guess you are watching Luna.
Luna, close your eyes.
Let me put my hair up real quick. Hold on.
Yeah.
I'm wrong for that.
But probably very accurate too. Very
decision day. I'm sorry. All my politeness goes out the window on decision day.
Well, apparently so did Alexis and Justin immediately after decision day. Like 20 minutes later, they're arguing. I mean, and going at it pretty damn hard. And I'm like, wait. What's going on here? But then you kind of see it unfold and understand why, though.
Mm-hmm. I do. Can I read you my notes that I was typing?
Please, I've been waiting for this all day.
As things were happening, after they get done with the decision day and they're standing there talking, I'm like, her face doesn't say yes at all. And then when they're talking on camera and Justin's like, so what do you mean by that? So, and all that stuff. I was like, it's not Justin's fault that he's feeling this way and acting out. She definitely doesn't want to be with him. He's like Krysten. Right. He wants someone who is all in. Mm-hmm. Then the next note I said is, I'm expecting Alexis to end it before the episode is over. And literally 3 minutes later, I'm like, ha, I knew it.
You're psychic. I'll be damned.
Yeah. I was like, bring Maya back ASAP. Let's go.
Look, when it happened and when they had that big blow up and she's like, I'm done. I said, well, that went as it should have, right? Alexis ended it. And I feel her because Justin was being a bit too much. We saw that and right after all the decision days, and you saw them the 20 minutes after and they're getting an argument. Justin was just on it like, well, are you sure? Are you regretting it? Are you this? Are you this? Are you this? And then I really thought about it. And I realized that Justin finally saw what we saw all along, right? And maybe, just maybe, and tell me if you see this, he pushed her purposely so that she would end the marriage, right? Because he knew she wasn't all in. That wasn't a real yes from her. So he kept pushing, asking, because he wanted to hear her say, no, I don't want your tall, lanky ass, no stroking, no thrusted ass, right? That's what he wanted to hear her say. But at the same time, it's also pretty manipulative because he said yes.
Yeah.
On decision day, thinking she was going to say no. That way, he can say, I tried, I gave my all. He can come off as a good guy, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so he did that. And then when she said yes, he was like, God damn it. Because remember, he was checked out just a couple episodes ago. So I think he said yes purposely so that knowing that she would say no. And then she threw him a curveball, said yes, and he was like, God, well, here we go. Got to work her nerves. Get her out of here.
I agree with you. I think that after she said yes, and he was like, well, shit. He had to text his homeboy and be like, I'm going to need you and Maya to kill 2 hours at the dog park before you come over. I got a couple things. I'll explain. I got a couple things. Just kill 2 hours.
That's it right there. Because he was like, I thought I was ready for my reunion.
Yes. I think Maya was en route to his house. And then he's like, oh, shit. I got to kick this up a notch. I got to pull a Kanye and go.
It's amazing because I really, as I'm analyzing it, because I'm like, the whole time I'm going, Justin, why is Justin being so, he's just too much. He's this. And then I went, wait a minute. I see the play now. Because he just seemed too, okay, that's fine. He finally saw what it was, but he didn't want to be the one to end it. Therefore, he couldn't have this regret. He wanted her, and he wanted her to finally admit what he finally figured out. That's all. Mm-hmm. What we knew from the very beginning, he wanted her to say.
Yeah. And he got his answer. Mm-hmm. So hopefully he can move on. Hopefully he learned something about himself in this process. I think Alexis didn't learn anything about herself in this process. I think she's still going to be who she is. And for all of these couples, I hope they watch the show and reflect, like, shit. Like, that's how I came across on TV to people. So I don't know.
Well, the number one excuse for that is, well, the producers show what they want to show and they cut what they want to cut. So it's not a proper representation. I mean, Lindy is never going to watch this and think, maybe I do need to work on myself. She's never going to do that. Because she's never wrong in her mind, and she's always right, even when she's throwing her 2-3-year-old tantrum.
Yeah. No, I mean, they're all going to be who they are for the most part. I can't wait for the reunion because we didn't really get much, but we saw Ben and Morgan back in the same room, and Morgan trying to come in, like any girl does, right? After you go through a breakup and you're about to see your ex, you're going to come in all trying to look cute, sexy. I'm happy. I'm too blessed to be stressed. And you're just all in this good mood. And I'm just like, girl, I can't wait for this. I was surprised she didn't show up in scrubs. I was spending, sorry guys, I was at the hospital because I'm a nurse.
Well, remember, they said, she kind of tried it because, oh, it looks like you spent a week in Hawaii. No, I've been working as a nurse. Matter of fact, I just took my scrubs off.
Yeah, literally. I had this under my scrubs so I wouldn't be late. I'm sorry about that.
So apparently her and Ben go to the same gym. Who do you think was trying to sneak a peek at the other one? He said they both threw up the deuces and just kept it moving. You think he was trying to sneak a peek at her, Steve? Or she was trying to sneak a peek at him?
I don't think either one, because she's so insulted the fact that he didn't think she was a real nurse and he has this financial life in order and she doesn't. He feels so abused because she made him look like a little child, on this show. So I don't think there's any love lost. So we both had AirPods on and just deuces and walked past each other. I would have to go to a different gym. I couldn't work out the same gym to somebody that made me look that bad on national TV.
Or just figure out, all right, when is she not in her scrubs? All right, cool. I can go to the gym at this point. The other question, though, it looked like they tried to make it seem like they've resolved some stuff and they're sitting on the couch or even try, maybe hooking up. Do you think that's a real thing or this is just manipulation and trying to get us interested in the reunion?
I think it's just trying to get us into the reunion. And as much as all of us want to see Ben get some balls and say something, be prepared. He's not going to.
No,
he's just gonna smile and be like, that's a good point. Good point. I made some mistakes, and and that's it. He's not gonna call her out like we want to see. But then again, I also did say that Krysten and Mitch would get married, and that Justin and Alexa would have said no. And at Decision Day. I was wrong on both of those.
Mm-hmm. Well,
so
I mean,
at least 1.5% wrong.
Yeah. The other thing I will say though, for Ben, he probably just needs to check his DMs because the women who were drooling over him on Twitter, I know his DMs are packed.
Hey, Ben, do you, man? Ben's a good-looking guy, has his life together, he knows what he wants. Go for it, man.
Stingy as hell, though. Just remember that. There'll be no vacations.
If that's the worst,
you could only go on vacation on YouTube. Yes, that's pretty bad.
Well, but it's stingy if he marries somebody who doesn't work. But if he meets somebody who also makes money and is doing well, he's not going to control the relationship and control the finances. It's just he's dated people where he's made more than them.
Yeah. Imagine if they put him and Stacia together. That would have been an interesting one.
I think that could work.
It could, because he would have fallen in love with her the first week. She would have turned him out, and she could afford to go wherever the hell she wants. So it's like, you either coming or you're not, because I'm not sitting at home. We're going somewhere.
Stacia put it on him, though.
Yeah.
Pop, lock, and drop it. Like, she would put it on him. And Ben's like, you can spend whatever you like. Do you need my card? What else do you need?
Now, the thing everybody's talking about when it comes to the reunion is the confrontation between Nate and Justin. They gave us a little tease of it midway through this week's episode. Then all of a sudden you see this thing where Justin's saying that, accusing Nate of making a pass at him. At least that's the way they have it done. So, I mean, people are talking about this. Like, Susie May was like, Nate made a pass at Justin? What kind of pass are we talking about here? Is this San Diego lingo to say Nate stepped to Justin and wanted all the smoke? Someone clarify. Or somebody said, nah, we told Justin he needed to speak up and stand up for himself, and he's speaking up now.
I don't think that Nate made a pass, like trying to holler at Justin. I think that's just some editing. But the fact that Justin says, I'm sorry, I busted out laughing out loud in my living room when you hear emotional ass Justin, like, you better take that bass out your voice when you talk.
Yeah, look, those are lines from his brother. His brother must have said something to him like that, and he was like, I'm going to use that. Let me write that down.
I just like, come on now, Justin. Like, this reunion is going to be really interesting because I think Krysten and Mitch is going to be some fire in that reunion. I think so. I think Justin and Alexis is going to be some fire because she's going to embarrass him again about his sex skills in front of all these people.
Even though it looks like he calls her out because she came over and he obviously found some Thrustin power.
Well, just because she had an orgasm doesn't mean it was great. As guys, we've had orgasm, but the sex was terrible. We just focused. What? That's just being... we're not in the trust tree?
You cannot compare a man's orgasm to a woman's orgasm.
She could have faked it. He just thinks she had one. She might have been like, well, shoot, oh my God. It's amazing. Oh my goodness. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. She could have been faking the whole thing. Yeah, just, go get me some water. Woo! Just laying there, that was amazing. That was the best I ever had.
Never in my life.
I'm not going to be able to walk tomorrow anyway. Are you going to go to your place? But I'm just saying, like, just because she might have had an orgasm doesn't mean it was great. Right? And so I'm curious to see what that conversation is going to be. Because I'm like, wow, Justin, she's going to make you look bad again.
Yep.
But I'm also curious to see, because I think that a lot more people are going to confront Nate. Because Nate talked shit about a lot of people. And so I'm waiting to see if Hood Alexis is going to come out when he kept calling her shady. Like, he talked bad about Alexis in the confession rooms or whatever. He talked bad about Alexis, so I'm curious what Alexis is going to be like, bitch, what?
But was it not justified?
It was, but still. Just because it's justified doesn't mean someone's not going to respond.
Facts. Yeah. Looking forward to the reunion. There are 3 more episodes left, okay? Because there's... I know you thought there were only 2.
That's what's pissing me off.
It's a reunion part 1, reunion part 2, and where are they now?
Well, hold on. Oh, shit. This is just bullshit. This is bullshit.
It's okay, man. It's okay. It's only 3 more. It's only 3 more.
November 16th is my birthday, and I think that's a Wednesday. And so that means...
That's the Where Are They Now, yeah?
My 48th birthday, I got to spend watching Where These Jackasses Are Now. I love the people who subscribe to our channels. I'm taking it for the team. I want y'all to realize I'm doing this for you because this is bullshit. That on my birthday, I have to sit here and watch 2 hours of dumb.
And this has been a Terrell's Vent.
Sorry, I had to get that out. I had to get that out.
I was just going to let you get it all out, my brother. That's
I got to say it. I got to say it's like Tourette's. I got to say it. I got to let it go. Get it out of my system. Or else I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight.
Do you feel better now?
No, I don't, because I still got 3 weeks of this bullshit. Just because I said it.
Oh, my God. Well, don't forget, Monday we're back with Love is Blind Season 3 recap. This is recap number 2 of 4, because we're doing 4 recaps for this Season 3. Mm-hmm. This one's going to cover, I think, episodes 5 through 7. I haven't even opened my Netflix account today because I knew we were watching this as we were recording this Wednesday night. So we'll start as soon as we get this up. We'll start reviewing that and get ready. Monday we'll have that up. Monday, 7 Eastern. We'll do the premiere on that, so you'll be able to catch that. And if you just listen to it on your wherever you listen to your podcast, it'll be up that morning, Monday morning, so you can listen or you can watch. Either way.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Tuesday we're going to drop the audio and video for the regular episode 107. And then next Thursday, guess what? We is back. Married at First Sight. Nate versus Justin, or Nate hitting on Justin, or whatever the hell happened. We don't know. We'll find out. You know what? It might be Mai over there talking, hitting on Justin for all we know. Or it could have been Luna. Maybe it was Luna hitting on. We have no idea what the hell. We'll find out next week.
Wow. Luna. You had to bring Luna into it. Luna's a saint throughout all this. Nothing wrong with Luna at all.
Okay.
She got some face boogers. Okay, great. No one's perfect. But she's still a cute dog.
Hey, I'm Yanni Rude.
And I'm Just Terrell.
Make sure you follow us at Yanni Rude, at Just Terrell, and at RGRT Pod.
Yeah, send us some of your random thoughts, some of the bullshit you find on the internet. We'll talk about it on the regular show.
It's the Regular Guys Random Thoughts Podcast. Cheers.
Cheers.